Hello, my loves. I'm Ellie Frost. Thank you so much for everyone that's here, that is on this journey. And we're basically elevating our own consciousness here, right? Anything you listen to is a transmission. I have a high energetic that I hold, right? Which means that we're here to raise our consciousness. You're here to find your truth, right? By understanding the actual depth of narcissistic abuse. That this is not just a personality disorder, right? And that's why you can't heal it without using a multidimensional way and understanding the spiritual aspects behind this. So a lot of what's in the mainstream, there is truth in. Like someone said to me, well, I don't believe in karma. I believe in you reap what you sow. Now, a lot of what goes into mainstream knowledge is based on some truth, but until you understand the depth of the principle behind it, it's surface level, which is why you don't break through understanding that. Karma isn't just, it's not a punishment energy, and it's certainly not it is about reaping what you sow, but there's more layers spiritually to things. Like I talk about in a free will universe, that a narcissist, while you are consenting, not necessarily intentionally, but you are in a free will universe to your energy being siphoned by them. Yeah, they now plugging into your energy field, your karma, and your spiritual protection. So there's depth to stuff that is being dealt with in a surface level out there, and I'm trying to make it simple for you, but that you actually see, you get the breakthrough. So the narcissist has one agenda overall, and that's to siphon your life force energy. They are soul detached entities in a human shell, made a spiritual choice to choose the dark, and every day they carry on making that choice. Now, they want to trauma bond you. When you're traumatized, one, you're kind of paralyzed, right? Your body can't regulate, you can't think straight, you're living in a lot of confusion, you can't grow, you can't connect to your dreams and potential, so you're kind of a sitting duck. They'll put you in physical traps, emotional traps, and spiritual traps, really, to keep you there so they can keep living off your energy, your life force. They'll also be going around the planet finding other sources of supply to make sure they've always got backup siphons, right, that they can siphon off. So they really want to trauma bond you, because when you're traumatized, you give off a very high energetic charge, especially with a lot of pain. It's energetically strong. It's a low vibrational energy. So there's a complexity, you see, we have to understand. It's not just, you might think, well, why don't they work in love? Because love's a high vibration. It is a high vibration, but the energetic charge we have to trauma is extraordinarily high, and they feed off it. Now, I mean, it's so sick and it's so evil that because it's a psychic attack, the reason they really need to trauma bond you as well is because they want to do something so bad to you that you never forget them. They get power off it, they get energy off it, and even after you've left the relationship, unless you do the healing work we're talking about here and clear it, you could for years be giving them your energetic charge because you're still so traumatized and can't get over. It's not that you're meant to forget. Like I say, I'm never going to forget. And I stay emotionally attached to my work because I'm healed enough to, right? I don't recommend you do that. You might just want to have no energetic charge and emotional charge to it at all. And that's really what is possible in trauma release and the work I do with people. But the thing is, you need to know they want to traumatize you so much that you never forget them, and that they can carry on for as long as possible, because a lot of this is going on in the psychic and energetic realms, siphon your life force energy mainly through the trauma, because it's such a strong energetic charge. They want to hurt you in a way that you don't forget what they did to you, and they like that. It makes them feel important. They are pure evil. It's not that they're more powerful than you. They're not. They're complete parasites. They need us to exist, to carry on in this. They're not more powerful than you. It's just good God, love, our energy, our sovereignty is way more powerful. Once we're in a sovereign space, right, we don't need them at all. And actually they dwindle. But the devil just comes in disguise, right? They're not more powerful. They come in disguise. They need to trap you. They need to traumatize you, because it's the only way to disarm a human, right, into what they need you to be. So That's their agenda. They're going to connect you with your pain. They're going to, not in the love bombing stage, but after that, start dismantling your ability to regulate your body and keep shocking you into new trauma responses, which is why the behavior over time gets worse. They'll try and traumatize you in a way that you associate negative and trauma with anything that would have brought you joy in your life. I can give you light example. I mean, I can remember, so for example, this is a light example. I've had much more awful things happen than this, but on my 30th birthday, for example, I'll just break it down. My dad said to me, I'd like to take you out for a nice dinner for your birthday. What restaurant would you like to go to? And there was a Japanese restaurant opposite where I lived. And I said, oh, I'd really like to go there. I've been looking at that restaurant and I'd love to go there. And he said, okay, you make the booking and I'll come to your apartment and we'll go to dinner there for your 30th. So I got very excited, right? I'm getting my hopes up. This is what they do, the highs and lows. I've told my friends, I've told people at work that my dad's taking me there and I'm excited. I went and got an outfit to go out for my birthday. They're always going to try and ruin special events because then every time I have a birthday, I'll remember this, right? This is a trauma bond. So he turns up at my apartment and says, I mean, he's done worse. I mean, he's done worse than this before my birthday, but this particular one, he's got a new trick. Turns up and says, oh, Ellie, I got to tell you, I'm only laughing because it just blows my mind. I've just spent 20,000 on my house getting some renovations done. Then I decided I wanted to go on a cruise and I spent about 15,000 on that. So I don't really want to go to that restaurant for your birthday because I think it's a little bit more expensive than I'd like to pay. Can we go down the street where we used to go sometimes? Well, we usually go where there's a place you can get 2 pizzas for $10 basically. And I mean, just look at the thing of it. So it's all very highs and lows. It's all to make me feel worthless and I'm not worth anything. And then he's still rubbing my nose in how unworthy I am because he's letting me know he's wealthy. My dad was wealthy, but extremely stingy. A lot of narcissists are. And so, you know, he always wanted to let me know that he would never give to me, that I was not worth anything, right? And so he's saying, well, I've just blown 30, I mean, none of it makes sense. I've just blown 35,000, but spending, I don't know what it would have cost, a couple $100 at the most on your birthday, probably less. It is not something I can do. And none of it makes sense. It's all confusing. Like, why even tell me you've just blown that money? Why ask me where I want to go if you're not going to take me? Just because he wants to trauma bond me and let me know my birthdays are a time of pain. I mean, they did it to me all the time. On my birthday, on Christmas, I mean, they'd leave me with no place to go. I mean, it was just, you know, always, because first of my life, I'm going to have a birthday. First of my life, I'm going to have Christmas. And of course, for years, I'd get very anxious during those times and really isolate myself because I just didn't want someone to come at me. I'm healed from that now. But I was just breaking it down. So the emotional and psychological stuff that goes on, a lot of it's subconscious. A lot of this is on the psychic field. And like, I feel like we'll move into a society that recognizes the long-lasting effects of this kind of emotional torture and pain. It often leads to physical symptoms. A lot of you said to me about autoimmune. I do think it should be criminally sanctioned. I think the world will change. I studied law, and in law, the difference between whether someone's going to get, if they kill someone, the difference between murder and manslaughter is whether they can prove intent. Narcissists are intending to hurt you. Some of the psychological and emotional effects and even physical effects will go on for years, and some people will not heal because they wouldn't have the information they need. You will heal with the work I talk about, right? I don't want us to get so caught up in one of the biggest traumas is how unfair this is, how unjust. They try and steal your destiny, your future, your joy, your happiness, everything, your sense of self. And one of the biggest traumas is how unfair this is, right? Heal first, because there is an imbalance on the planet. It's a glitch in the matrix, and I believe the divine is calling time, and that's why we're all here to wake up and really rebalance this. And I do think there'll be social change over time. I do. But it's not a reason to give your power away and not feel that you get to heal and have your best life ever that you can have from now on. You're not waiting for the the regulations to change. You're not waiting for the world to be fair, right? We've got to heal the trauma of injustice and betrayal, because it really does hold us up if we stay there, right? And you can do that now by keep learning how to process your emotions so that we can get these feelings out of our bodies, basically, and start resetting our system so that we are now an energetic match for a much better future. I believe there will be social change on the planet. I believe, you know, enough of us are waking up that we're not tolerating this in our society anymore. But the first place we start not tolerating it is by seeing it for what it is. If we need to, and we can, safely calling it out, and then going into our sovereign power so that there's no supply source for this disease and sickness anymore, right? So I hope that's helpful, guys. Keep commenting, keep telling me what you're wanting me to talk about, because again, I will feed it all into the content. I'm just wanting to give you what you need more than what you think you want. You know, so much of it is useful out there, but sometimes we're, again, not going to the depth of the root cause of the problem, using the right tools to heal it and seeing it for what it is. Even the covert, you know, if you say, like, what's a covert, what's an over, I did get fooled. My last romantic partner was a master manipulator, absolute cruelty that he did to me. But I didn't quite recognise him because he was on the covert. So, but all that really means is he's more of an introverted one that's passive aggressive than an extroverted one, right? And he was very malignant. But we don't want to get, the thing is, there's so much at the common denominator. They act the same way: covert, overt, malignant, vulnerable, whatever we want to call them. The pattern is the same. It might be expressed in more introvert, extrovert, or malicious ways, but it is the same sequences. It is the same behaviors. They are being cooperative with the same entity running through them. They are a shell of a human. They have the same malicious intent. And you know, there is so much similar about it. That's the thing to concentrate on, because that will help you identify it quicker, deal with it quicker, and get on with your healing a lot quicker. All right, my darlings, lots of love. I'll speak to you soon.